Hello, and thank you for joining us at the Hometown Connections YouTube channel. Today we'll meet Annette DuPont-Ewing, the new marketing director for Hometown Connections. Annette brings decades of experience in the energy industry. She has been both a director of an association for utilities as well as experience with the Department of Energy. So let's talk with Annette and find out what she's been up to and what her plans are for Hometown Connections.
Well, hello, Annette, and welcome to Hometown Connections. We're very glad to have you and very fortunate to have someone with your experience joining our team.
Well, thank you for the warm welcome. I'm so pleased and so grateful to be part of the team. So thanks for that nice welcome.
Well, you're very well deserved of it, and you have decades in our industry. And I was wondering if you'd take a few minutes and kind of walk us through your experiences that you've enjoyed working in the industry.
Well, I started off at the U.S. Department of Energy in international energy trade, and I spent 7 years at fossil energy. I did some time at Oak Ridge, Tennessee in nuclear enrichment sales, and ended up in nuclear non-proliferation, proliferation. And then from there, I went to work for Governor Patton of Kentucky as his energy advisor. And I've had a variety of experiences. Most recently, I was 16 years with the Kentucky Municipal Utilities Association as their executive director, promoting city utilities and lobbying at the state and federal level for them. And then finally, regretfully, Mayfield, Kentucky was hit by a tornado in 2021. So I was working to help them rebuild their utility, which was demolished. So
Right.
A little bit here or there, and you know how that is, Mike. All the jobs you've had in the past sort of come together for the current job, right? All those
Exactly.
experiences help you in this job. So I'm hoping that's true for me as well.
Yeah. Well, tell us a little bit more about that Mayfield tornado. I guess that happened in December of what year?
2021.
Okay.
It was an EF4. It was the longest and biggest tornado in Kentucky's history, and it went through 8 different states, killing 88 people, killed 29 in Mayfield. But it was pretty dramatic because every building in the utility, the office, etc., all the water system, telecommunications, all of it was damaged severely or obliterated. They had a 600,000-gallon water tank that was hit by a school bus, and it fell. And the next morning, everything froze. So it was in December, right before Christmas. A lot of the employees lost their homes. And nice lesson there is you can rebuild. There is resiliency in people, and there's a lot of kindness in people, and how much help they had to try and get back on their feet. So it's one of those heartwarming stories, a silver lining in an awful dark cloud.
Yeah, I can imagine that. So what was your job there in helping the folks in Mayfield?
Well, the job was, as you might imagine, the customer base was significantly diminished. The majority of the industrial and commercial customers were gone and decided not to build back. So they have a significant shortfall. So as a result, we worked with the state. I assisted in getting $22 million put in the state budget for rebuild, a lot of work with FEMA. And I was successful in getting them a $2 million grant to build a solar situation, a solar farm. And then recently, in terms of resiliency and hardening the system, a community development block grant to build a wall around the substations. Mm-hmm. So that work continues as we go. But as you just heard today, probably the new administration has put a hold on all federal funding.
Right. Well, we've concentrated on your work. How about your hobbies? What are some of the things that you enjoy to do when you're not working?
I really enjoy animals, and that keeps me active too. So I have 5 horses. I do eventing, which is cross country, stadium jumping, and dressage. And I have a couple of goats, a couple of sheep, chickens. I have a miniature hobby farm, Gotcha. Of course, and we just really enjoy it. And it's sort of always been my dream since I was a child to have my own menagerie. No, I'm kidding. My own mini farm, right?
So you have a favorite horse?
Oh yes, I have a favorite horse, Brody. I originally bought him for my daughter, and as she moved up the levels, he sort of got left behind for horses that were more talented. So
I see.
he's very special to me. Also very expensive, he's always sick.
Oh, okay.
Oh my gosh, if there's a way to get hurt, this horse can find it.
A needy.
Yeah, a needy guy.
Yeah. So looking at public power, you've obviously been intimately involved with public power over the years. What do you see as some of the challenges going forward for our public power utilities?
Well, because of my past experience, I would say definitely disaster, resiliency, being prepared, hardening your system. That's going to continue to be a challenge for a lot of utilities because, as you know, NOAA has said storms will become more frequent and more intense, and not just storms, but ice storms, hurricanes, tornadoes. So, looking at a very expensive practice of putting your lines underground, hardening your system, building walls, identifying issues where you might need to reassess how your buildings are, et cetera. So that's very important. I also think that the supply chain shortage continues to plague us. Also, workforce, I think having a good attrition plan and backloading your expertise is important.
Mhm.
So there's a lot of issues that we could address, cybersecurity, et cetera, man-made and otherwise. But I think the nice thing, and you know this very well, Mike, the nice thing about public power is it's community-owned, community-driven, locally hires folks. It's probably the best model and probably the least expensive model if you want reliable power at a fair price. So there's so much, so many aspects of local community owned power that are positive. To me, that sort of outweighs some of the challenges. Like, the investor owned utilities have greater access to financing than we do. But, we seem to continue to thrive.
Right. Well, you've seen our list of partners, and it seems that some of the challenges that you mentioned there, we seem to have a partner that's prepared to assist a utility in just
That's
about
true.
any area that you look at.
And you have a strong strategic planning aspect to
Mhm.
hometown connections. And I've heard so many good things about that. So
Yeah,
I mean,
Mark
you're
McCain's
sort of,
done a fantastic job, and for anyone who's looking for strategic planning assistance, should contact Mark definitely.
yes.
Yeah. So, people talk about what keeps them up at night. What gets you up in the morning?
No, I'd say probably two things. Gratitude to have such a nice job and to do something I really care about and really enjoy, but also a sense of duty. As I mentioned to you when we first met, my parents are, well, I'm first generation American, and both my parents came to this country after World War II and struggled and left their families, their homes, their language, everything that they were familiar with to give us a better life. So I feel an obligation to succeed, if you know what I mean.
Mhm.
I think a lot of first generation Americans feel that slight bit of pressure.
Well, looking ahead for the short term, I know that the Hometown Connections Annual Gathering is scheduled for late April in California, and you'll be concentrating on that. Do you have some ideas about how you might put the program together?
Well, I think that based on our discussions and things that are happening now, especially the North Carolina floods and the hurricanes you've seen hit the coast, we feel like the theme might be when disaster strikes,
Mhm.
how to address, be prepared, build relationships that are so important with FEMA in advance, with your state cabinet agencies. You know who your contacts are, know your legislators, be able to reach out to them and be on a first name basis. I think all of that planning, if I'm the CEO and my house is blown away, who can back me up and take over in a real emergency? So all of those things will be discussed, and I'm pretty excited about it because we have some firsthand experiences that'll give us some knowledge, FEMA, several of the cities that have been through major disasters. I think it'll be a great meeting. I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah, well, good. I think you'll have a great attendance given the location, and the topic that you'll be discussing should touch a lot of people in the room that day because, like you said, between the hurricanes, the flooding that resulted from the hurricanes, and the wildfires in California, there's a lot of challenges out there, and we have the partners and well versed affiliates in that meeting, so you should come away with some really good ideas.
I agree. I agree. I think it's going to be a great event.
Any other words of wisdom as we close?
Um, I would say, and this is something that I've been told many times by people that I admire, yesterday is finished. Make today as great as you can and make it a masterpiece because tomorrow's an unknown. So really work hard today if you want payoff tomorrow.
Yeah.
That's the only words of wisdom I have today.
Well, Annette, thank you so much for joining us, and best of luck to you in your new endeavors.
Oh, Mike, thank you so much. I know I have big shoes to fill, and you've been a tremendous support. I can't thank you enough. Thank you again.
This has been a production of Hometown Connections, an advocate for public power.